My Yandere girlfriend hiding in the dungeon kills me over and over again. Chapter 1 Exile. I read the verdict. The defendant, Kiska, is sentenced to exile in the depths of the dungeon for the crimes of raping and killing the villager Namia. The moment I heard those words, I felt a rush of anger in my head. This is a miscarriage of justice. Before I knew it, I was shouting angrily at the presiding judge. I've been framed by the villagers. I didn't do anything. Defendant, please refrain from speaking. Heartlessly, the judge said so. Come on, move over here quickly. The guards forcibly dragged me, still in a rage. Even so, I continued to assert my innocence, but no one listened. Get in here and behave yourself. And then, I was thrown into a cell. Tomorrow, I would be sent to the depths of the S-rank dungeon, Katarov dungeon, in this village. No one who had been sent to the depths of the dungeon had ever come back alive. So, I would probably end up as a corpse at the hands of the monsters in that dungeon. Damn it, don't mess around, I yelled as I pounded on the wall. Only an empty, meaningless sound echoed back. Katarov village. That's the village where I was born and raised. The pride of this village is the S-rank dungeon known as Katarov dungeon. So, the village thrived with adventurers trying to conquer this dungeon. In that village, I had been persecuted since childhood. The reason was probably my hair, which was a dull silver. In this country, there's a long history of persecution against people with silver hair, known as Alkas people. It's because there's a legend that Alkas people betrayed humans long ago and lent their power to the demons. My mother is from Katarov village and has brown hair. Nevertheless, the fact that my hair is silver probably has something to do with my father. My father was no longer around when I was born. I don't know if he died or ran away. I don't know anything. My mother never talked about my father. Because of these circumstances, I was persecuted as an Alkas person, and my mother was treated as someone associated with Alkas people. Children threw stones at me, and our fields were often vandalized by someone. As a result, we were always poor and couldn't have decent meals. Still, my mother raised me with all her might. I'm sorry, Kiska, I couldn't raise you properly. That was my mother's favorite saying. My mother passed away last year. The cause of death was an illness. We couldn't afford medicine to treat the illness. Hey, silver hair, I heard your taxes are low again this year. I'm sorry. Saying that and instigating me was Darga, the village chief's son. Behind Darga, there were several men. These guys always acted in groups and taunted me. Hey, apologizing won't fix the problem. The reason our taxes were low was because these guys had vandalized my fields. However, I knew that pointing that out wouldn't make any difference. I'm sorry. So, I simply kept apologizing. Hey, let's beat this guy up now. Oh, that sounds good, let's do it. After that, they relentlessly started to gang up on me. Die. Saying that, they repeatedly punched me in the face. I couldn't resist. The more I resisted, the more determined they became to hurt me even more. Being non-resistant meant shallower wounds. Because of years of experience, I knew this, so I continued to endure the beating. I'll spare you for today. With those words, Darga said when my face was completely swollen and red. Looks like you've been beaten up by Darga and the others again. That was my childhood friend, Namia, who said that. Namia was the daughter of a local merchant and the only one in this village who would stand up for me. Come on, I'll treat your wounds, so just stay still. Saying that, she applied ointment to my bruises. Why does everyone pick on Kiska? There's no helping it. It's because of my silver hair. Well, I think that hair is beautiful. For me, this silver hair was an unwelcome presence, but Namia always said that. Hey, Kiska, I have something important to tell you. She deliberately made it sound important. What is it? I'm going to marry Darga. The moment she said that, I felt dizzy with shock. In this village, parents usually decide the marriage partners. The village chief and Namia's parents must have had strong ties, so the fact that Darga and Namia were getting married was something I could accept. I see, congratulations. I said that, thinking I should offer my congratulations, but my expression was probably contorted. Hey, Kiska, is this okay with you? Well, are you planning to continue living in this village? As long as I had my own land in this village, I couldn't leave. I hate that. The villagers here all bully you, Kiska. Yet if you stay in this village, someday you'll be broken. But there's nothing I can do about it. Run away from this village with me. Namiya looked into my eyes and made that plea. I have money at my house. With that money, we can live for several years just the two of us. During that time, we can find a place where nobody knows us and live together. I had considered leaving this village before. However, to leave the village and travel, I needed money, and I didn't have that kind of money. But if Namiya was willing to help, it might be possible. Are you sure, Namiya? I could understand why I would want to leave this village, but there was no reason for Namiya to go along with it. It's fine. I don't want to marry someone like that. I see. I confirmed Namiya's determination. I like you, Namiya. Yeah, I like you too. We confirmed our feelings for each other. I had liked Namiya for a long time. However, I knew that getting together with her was almost impossible, so I had kept those feelings hidden. When should we do it? As soon as possible, if we can. Understood. Let's escape from this village tonight. Yeah. After that, Namiya and I kissed. Our first kiss was somewhat awkward. Then, we talked about the plan and said our goodbyes. At midnight, I would go to Namiya's house to pick her up. We prepared at our respective homes and waited for the night. At night, relying on the moonlight, I headed towards Namiya's house. We had arranged to meet outside her house. Stop it. I heard a scream. It was Namiya's voice. Are you okay? I shouted as I entered Namiya's house, my shoes still on. Then, I opened the room where I heard the voice. Hey, silver hair, why are you here? The scene before me was the most revolting thing I could imagine. Inside the room were Darga and his cronies, all half naked. They were forcibly trying to remove Namiya's clothes. What are you doing? What do you think? You can figure it out just by looking. Darga said that with a vile smile. Indeed, even without asking, I could understand what was happening. However, in this village, it should have been prohibited for unmarried men and women to engage in such behavior. Why is silver hair here? Did someone talk to this guy? Darga asked the men around him, but everyone shook their heads. In the midst of this, I was trying to figure out what to do. Anyway, I had to rescue Namiya from this situation. Step away. Huh. Get away from Namiya now. I shouted. After that, I was attacking Darga and his group, but I was alone against several opponents. I had no chance, and I was beaten mercilessly. However, Darga's anger didn't subside by simply beating me up. It seemed he found my presence suspicious, so he began torturing me to find out the reason. Specifically, he started peeling my nails one by one. Even though I couldn't possibly say that we were planning to elope, I screamed and endured the pain. I'll talk, so please stop. Namiya was the first to break. Namiya, stop. My warning went unheard, and she spilled everything. As a result, Darga flew into a rage. He seemed particularly upset about the fact that Namiya and I were planning to run away. Afterward, Darga subjected Namiya to violence. I tried to intervene, but I couldn't do much against multiple attackers, and before I knew it, I had passed out from the shock of being beaten. When I woke up, I was in a cell. The charges were that I had raped and killed Namiya. In the morning, I found out that Namiya was dead. It was clear that Darga had strangled her. And he had pinned all the blame on me. Chapter 2. Obtain Save and Reset. In Katarov village, there existed an S-rank dungeon known as Katarov Dungeon. As a result, many adventurers came to this village. Typically, adventurers entered and conquered the dungeon from the front located at the dungeon's entrance. However, there was another entrance to the dungeon in the village, a teleportation circle. Using the teleportation circle would forcibly transport someone to somewhere deep inside Katarov dungeon. And no one who used this teleportation circle ever returned alive. After all, this dungeon was still one of the unexplored dungeons, not yet conquered by anyone. If a non-adventurer were thrown into the depths of such a dungeon, it was highly unlikely they'd ever make it back. Furthermore, I wasn't even given any weapons before being sent through the teleportation circle. Using this teleportation circle essentially meant a death sentence. Get in there. The guards pushed my back, urging me to enter the teleportation circle. Damn it. I muttered my grievances internally. I hated everything. Darga, who killed Namia, the villagers who refused to listen to my testimony and falsely accused me of the crime. I despised them all to the point where I wanted to kill them. But I couldn't do anything, and that was what frustrated me the most. Hurry up. Saying that, the guard kicked me in the back. My body staggered forward, and before I knew it, I had stepped onto the teleportation circle. Then, my entire body was enveloped in a blinding light. I opened my eyes, looked around to confirm my surroundings, and realized what had happened. This must be the depths of the S-rank dungeon, the Katarov dungeon. No one who has been sent here has ever returned. I, who have never acted as an adventurer, knew that it would be impossible for me to survive and escape from here. Guga. I heard a groaning sound. Oh, right away, it seems like I have company. A massive bear-like monster, easily exceeding 5 meters in length and covered in skin as tough as steel. I've heard its name from adventurers who have come to the village. It's known as a monster you won't survive encountering. Its rank is A. Its name is Armor Bear Bugbear. Yuga. The Armor Bear Bugbear acknowledged my presence and charged recklessly. Awa. Instinctively, I jumped backward. Then, the Armor Bear Bugbear swung its fist at the spot where I had just been. Its fist caused the ground to be gouged, and dust filled the air. Even though it didn't directly hit me, the impact alone made my body stagger. I'm going to die. At this rate, I'm definitely going to die. For the first time, I instinctively understood that. Help me. Even though I knew it was pointless, I had no choice but to scream like that. Someone, please help me. Before I knew it, I was running with my back to the monster, shouting like that. Just yesterday, I had been tilling the fields, and there was no way I, who had no experience with monsters, could do anything against it. So, no matter how undignified it may be, all I could think of was to run. Yuga. Huh. When I glanced back, the Armor Bear Bugbear, who should have been far away, had closed the distance in an instant. Is it possible for something to move this fast? And then, the Armor Bear Bugbear that had caught up to me swung its fist. Ah, I'm dead. I understand that. Yes, I am going to die soon. When I realized this, whether it was escapism or just a fleeting memory, all my past memories rushed through my head. Unpleasant memories, all of them. Persecuted because of this hair, and my beloved Namia was killed. Damn it. I was frustrated. What frustrated me the most was being killed by the people from the village without being able to do anything. I'm going to die a miserable death in a place like this. Shall I help you? Huh. There was a moving shadow there. A shadow in the shape of a person. Who are you? I don't think you have the luxury of caring who I am. That's right. I'm about to be killed by a monster's hand at any moment. Please, help me. I couldn't make out who or what the figure in front of me was. Still, with a desperate plea, I conveyed that. I'll grant you a skill then. The skill's name is Save and Reset. Acquire the skill, Save and Reset. Huh. I was astonished by the sudden appearance of the message window. Hey. Wanting to hear more details, I addressed the figure, but it had already vanished, and no matter where I looked, it didn't exist. There was no change in my body, but did I really obtain this thing called a skill? Save and Reset, was it? I couldn't even begin to imagine what kind of skill it was. Gao. When I looked, my body had been grotesquely crushed by the Armor Bear Bugbear's swinging fist. In the next moment, I had met my end. Chapter 3. Please kill me now. Yuga. In front of me was the Armor Bear Bugbear, bellowing its roar. Huh. I should be dead, right? I should have died when the Armor Bear Bugbear struck me. So why am I alive? Gao. The Armor Bear Bugbear was swinging its fist. My body was crushed, and I had died. Ah. Again. I should be dead, but here I am, alive once more. Gao. However, being resurrected doesn't change anything. The Armor Bear Bugbear swings its arm, and my body is crushed. I am dead. Ah. Again, I've come back to life. No, that's not it. I haven't come back to life, rather, it seems like time is rewinding every time I die. The skill I received from the shadow, Save and Reset, probably grants me that ability. Gao. I've figured it out. Time is rewinding. But the fate of me dying as the armor bear bugbear swings its arm remains the same. Ha! Again. Once more, just before dying, time rewinds. Gao. In front of me, the armor bear bugbear is about to swing its fist toward me any moment now. Seeing that, I realized something. If things continue like this, won't I be endlessly killed by this monster? Hey, what should I do? What should I do? I attempted to ask the shadow that had given me the skill, but I couldn't finish my sentence. I had been killed by the armor bear bugbear. Ha, no. Being endlessly killed is like living in hell, hardly any different. Hey, what should I do? This time, I was able to finish my question. If the shadow, who had given me this incredible power, was to know anything about breaking free from this situation, they must have a way. Quote ellipsis 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 quote. All that came back was silence. Gao. In the next moment, I was killed. Darn it. I turned my back to the armor bear bugbear and fled directly behind me. I desperately wanted to avoid dying again. Every time the armor bear bugbear struck me, an indescribable agony and fatigue hit me. And just when I thought my consciousness was fading, I was forcibly awakened by the rewinding of time. If I continued like this, my sanity would undoubtedly shatter. So, staking any chance of survival, I ran straight behind me. Kuga. Ah. Where I had fled directly behind me, the armor bear bugbear could easily reach me by extending its arm. My body was slammed into the wall and deformed as if it had been crushed. Naturally, I was dead. Ha! In the next moment, as excruciating pain engulfed my entire body, time rewound yet again, just moments before the armor bear bugbear would strike. Darn it. If retreating directly behind didn't work, then perhaps I should try moving to my right. Gao. But moving to the right only meant that the armor bear bugbear's fist would continue to crush my body. Ha! The right had proven futile just now. So, this time, I thought, why not left? Gao. With a resounding thud, my body was slammed into the wall. Ah! Time rewound once more. Behind, to the right, and now the left had all failed. What else was left? Gao. While I contemplated, I was killed. You've got to be kidding me. I shouted as I leapt high into the air. There was no grand plan. It was just that if behind, right, and left didn't work, the only option left seemed to be up. Gao. Ah. Even when I leapt upwards, the fist of the armor bear bugbear had a firm grip on my body. Ha! As time rewound, I exhaled and slumped to the ground. I had absolutely no idea what to do next. Gao. Naturally, the armor bear bugbear didn't miss a beat and ruthlessly battered my body. After that, I was killed helplessly about 10 times. Over and over, I was punched and killed, over and over, intense pain and fatigue ravaged my entire body, and with every rewind, I was forcibly awakened. It was far more agonizing than enduring pain. Just kill me already. Finally, I screamed those words. If I died, what awaited me was eternal sleep. Wouldn't that be a relief? Isn't there a way to get rid of this skill? If I could get rid of, save and reset, I should be freed from this hellish cycle. With that thought, I opened the status screen. Kiska. Skill 1, save and reset. Skill 2, none. Skill 3, none. Skill 4, none. Skill 5, none. Other than, save and reset, the status field was blank. I wondered if I could remove the skill by tweaking something. With that thought in mind, I touched the status screen with my finger. In an instant, a flood of memories rushed into my head. Memories of Namia. Memories of the men who violated Darga. The one who killed Namia, Darga. And the villagers who had punished me for a false accusation. I hated everything. If possible, I even wished to take revenge on the villagers with my own hands. If I could survive and escape this dungeon, it might just be possible. Had my hatred faded away so easily? No, absolutely not. Darn it. With that shout, I made a choice to charge forward. Acting without thinking, I stumbled and fell. As a result, I found myself inside the armor bear bugbear's embrace. A whooshing sound was heard. For the first time, I managed to dodge the armor bear bugbear's fist. Guha. However, what awaited me after avoiding the first strike was the second one. It resulted in my demise. Nevertheless, I felt a sense of satisfaction. Chapter 4. 150th time. If I charge forward, I can dodge the first strike of the armored bear bugbear. It's knowledge I've gained through repeating death a dozen times. However, even though I successfully avoid the first strike, the second and third strikes await. If I repeat the process multiple times, perhaps I can dodge those as well. But what lies beyond? Ultimately, for me to survive the situation, I have no choice but to defeat the armored bear bugbear or escape. There's a swooshing sound. How many times have I died by now? Thanks to that, avoiding the first strike has become easier. Afterward, I forcibly twist my body, dashing away from the armored bear bugbear with my back turned. As someone with no adventurer experience, it's impossible for me to defeat the armored bear bugbear. So, I choose to run. There was a squelching sound, as the armored bear bugbear attacked me mercilessly with my back turned. In the end, I died. I've lost count of how many times, but it's likely over 100. Gwa. First, the armored bear bugbear swings its left arm horizontally. I can evade this by crouching down. Next, the armored bear bugbear swings its right arm from directly above to below. By stepping to the left as it rolls over, I can dodge this attack. Doing so momentarily stuns the armored bear bugbear. Perhaps it's surprised that I managed to evade the attack. During this opening, I dash to the wall and leap to its rear. Gaga. In response to me passing behind it, the armored bear bugbear appears surprised and attempts to reverse its body. Seizing this opportunity, I dash further away from the armored bear bugbear. This sequence is the optimal solution I devised after repeating it over 100 times. However, what lies ahead is uncharted territory. Gawa. Because in 5 seconds, the armored bear bugbear will kick the ground and catch up with me in an instant. Nonetheless, I've already experienced being caught countless times. I step strongly to the right. I successfully dodge the attack. At the same time, the armored bear bugbear's posture is severely compromised. This is the moment. In this moment, I might land an attack. Thinking so, I throw a punch towards the face of the armored bear bugbear. Gawa. The armored bear bugbear lets out a groan and collapses in place. I succeeded. However, my punch is far from potent. Punching an A-rank monster is far from delivering a fatal blow. Yet, I bought time until the armored bear bugbear gets back up. In that opening, I sprint away from the scene with all my might. Inside the dungeon, the corridors are like a maze. And, on these corridors, there are monsters and traps, but occasionally, you can also find treasure chests. Is there anything? I was searching for treasure chests. Right now, I don't have a single decent weapon. In this situation, surviving in this dungeon is almost impossible. That's why I was running around the dungeon, searching for at least one treasure chest. Guga. When I looked back, the armored bear bugbear was right in front of me. The time it takes for the armored bear bugbear to reach me again after I punched its face and made it fall is roughly 25 seconds. In those 25 seconds, I had to find something that could change this situation. Once again, I found nothing. There was a squishing sound as my organs were crushed. My life had come to an end. Around the 150th attempt. Ducking the attack, I struck my fist into the armored bear bugbear's face. If I could bring it down, I'd buy myself 25 more seconds. The sensation was different this time. Whoosh. My fist hit the bear bugbear's eye by pure luck. It let out a pained roar. Yeah. Seems like a good punch to the eye was quite effective. If I focused on aiming for the eyes, maybe I could buy more time. After that, I sprinted through the dungeon with all my might, searching for treasure chests until the bear bugbear caught up with me again. 25 seconds had already passed, but the bear bugbear didn't attack. Perhaps the eye strike had slowed down its recovery. I was pretty sure I hadn't explored this passage yet. Within the 25-second limit, I managed to step into uncharted territory. Ah! I exclaimed for a reason. There was a trap right beneath me. A pitfall trap. Following the laws of nature, I descended directly downwards. The ground below was filled with numerous spikes. With a sickening sound, the spikes impaled my body. This time was undoubtedly a failure as well. However, my heart was filled with exhilaration. It was because, just before I died, I discovered a hidden passage beyond the pitfall trap. Chapter 5. Crystal of Wisdom. I have discovered that there is a hidden passage beyond the pitfall. However, no matter how many times I respawn, reaching the hidden passage has been a struggle. First, I need to dodge all of the attacks from the armored bear bugbear. Thanks to the repeated attempts, my movements have become more refined. So, with each repetition, the success rate is increasing, but still, 1 out of every 3 attempts ends in failure. After avoiding all attacks, I need to punch the eyes of the armored bear bugbear. However, simply punching its face only buys me 25 seconds. If I punch its eyes, that time increases to 35 seconds. I need to run at full speed for 35 seconds to finally reach the pitfall. The problem doesn't end after falling into the pitfall, though. Just falling into it will result in my body getting impaled by spikes. I must adjust the position of my body while falling to avoid being impaled, but honestly, it's difficult to do that intentionally. On the 200th attempt. At last, I succeeded. I managed to fall into the pitfall without getting impaled by the spikes. Ga, Yuwa. Looking up from the bottom of the pit, the armored bear bugbear reached its hand into the hole, attempting to attack me. However, its arm is not long enough to reach where I am. For now, it seems like the battle with the armored bear bugbear has come to a temporary halt. It looks like there's a hidden passage beyond the pitfall after all. Muttering this, I continue down the passage. Then, I emerge into a spacious area. In the center of this space, there is a treasure chest. There it is. With a joyful exclamation at the sight of the treasure chest I've been looking for, I open it. What's this? A gem. Inside was an object resembling a transparent crystal. You have obtained the Crystal of Wisdom. Its effect is automatically activated. Whoa, I'm suddenly shocked by the message that appeared. And, while I'm still in surprise, the content of the message changes. Please select 1 skill you want to acquire from the following skills. S rank. Item box, Enhanced Healing, Enhanced Magic Recovery, Shortened Incantation, Acceleration, Stealth. A rank. Healing Magic, Barrier Magic, Fire Magic, Water Magic, Wind Magic, Earth Magic, Alchemy, Summoning Magic, Enhanced Memory. B rank. Swordsmanship, Archery, Axe Mastery, Spear Mastery, Shield Mastery, Physical Prowess, Status Disguise. C rank. Physical Enhancement, Presence Detection, Magic Generation, Fire Resistance, Water Resistance, Wind Resistance, Earth Resistance, Poison Resistance, Paralysis Resistance, Curse Resistance. D rank. Appraisal, Provocation, Strength Enhancement, Endurance Enhancement, Agility Enhancement, Stamina Enhancement, Vision Enhancement, Hearing Enhancement. I am perplexed by the multitude of skill names that have appeared. Typically, skills are something you are born with. Most people are born without any skills. Of course, I was one of them. So, it seems like I can choose a skill from among those with hardly any opportunity for acquisition. Thinking about it that way, the Crystal of Wisdom must have quite remarkable capabilities. Well, it's a treasure chest found in the depths of an S-rank dungeon, after all. It would only be worth it with fairly exceptional items. Now, the question is which skill I should choose. First of all, I can exclude magic-related skills like Healing Magic and Fire Magic. To use magic, you first need to acquire the skill, Magic Generation, to obtain magical power. It seems like I can acquire Magic Generation as well, but having just that won't be of any use. Similarly, skills that assume having weapons, such as swordsmanship or archery, would be meaningless since I'm currently not wielding any weapons. With that in mind, my options are narrowing down naturally. Well, it's conventional to choose an S-rank skill, right? I say this and start looking at the S-rank skills. First, item box is out of the question. It might be useful, but what I need right now is a skill that can enhance my combat capabilities even a little. Enhanced Healing might be helpful, but considering that I'm on the brink of death with just one hit, it doesn't seem necessary. Enhanced Magic Recovery is also out of the question since I don't possess any magic power myself, and Shortened Incantation is a skill I won't need as I can't use magic. With all this in mind, it's either Acceleration or Stealth. Using acceleration would likely enhance my running speed. If I plan to keep running away from the monsters I encounter, this wouldn't be a bad skill. Stealth, on the other hand, might help me hide from the monsters and proceed without being noticed. That sounds good too. What I need right now is to figure out how to survive and escape this dungeon. Both of these skills would increase my chances of survival. It's a tough choice. All right, I'll go with stealth. With that decision, I tap on stealth. You have obtained the skill, stealth. I chose stealth because I believed it would allow me to conserve my energy and move more discreetly compared to acceleration. With acceleration, I might be able to escape if spotted by monsters, but it would consume some of my stamina. I don't think I can save enough stamina by using acceleration to escape from all the monsters I'm likely to encounter in the future. While pondering these thoughts, I suddenly heard a loud noise, kugu. Turning around, I realized that the entrance I used to enter this room was closed. I'm trapped, I muttered. Multiple magic circles were deployed around me. Kugu. Together with the magic circles, armored bear bugbears appeared. A total of 10. The next moment, I was punched by an armored bear bugbear and killed. Chapter 6 Acceleration. I open my eyes. Grow WWWL. A single armored bear bugbear stands before me. I've seen this scene before. It seems like I've been sent back to the beginning. All the struggle to finally reach the location with the treasure chest seems to have been in vain. No, to begin with, is it even okay to acquire that treasure chest? As soon as I obtained the treasure chest, I was forcibly made to fight against 10 armored bear bugbears. Most likely, I can't escape from that room until I defeat all of the armored bear bugbears. While lost in thought, the fist of the armored bear bugbear was right in front of me. The next moment, I was dead. However, there doesn't seem to be any other solution to improve this situation besides that treasure chest. Acquiring the treasure chest would grant me one skill. For someone like me, who doesn't have any skills aside from save and reset, obtaining even one skill is a significant advancement. Nevertheless, with just one skill in hand, is it even possible for me to defeat 10 armored bear bugbears? Even the single armored bear bugbear right in front of me is a struggle for me. While I don't remember all the skills I can acquire from the treasure chest, was there a skill among them that would enable me to defeat 10 armored bear bugbears? Well, it's pointless to think about it. I'll head back to the room with the treasure chest and then try to figure things out from there. Gah, this is bad. My face is slammed into the wall, and I'm dead once again. Alright. With a plan in mind, it's time to take action. First, crouch forward to evade the first strike. Then, roll to the left with a step, which should allow me to dodge the next attack. There was a crunching sound as my body contorted. The repeated movements have made me more agile, but this time it seems it has backfired. It appears that I moved before the armored bear bugbear could enter its attack stance. As a result, the armored bear bugbear was able to observe my movement before swinging its arm. Moving too quickly is also not a good idea. The timing is extremely critical. Damn it. Each time I die, intense pain surges through my entire body. So, the mental exhaustion is overwhelming. However, I can't stop. If I stop, I'll be killed again. Alright. This time, I successfully evade all the consecutive attacks from the armored bear bugbear and create some distance. Now, I need to avoid the reckless charges of the armored bear bugbear while aiming for its eyes. I manage to land a punch, but it hits the nose instead of the eyes. Precisely targeting the eyes is truly difficult. I sprinted at full speed toward the trap's location, but the armored bear bugbear caught up before I reached it, and I was killed. Can I really reach the treasure chest in this manner? Around the 220th attempt. I've finally made it this far. This was after falling into the pitfall and skillfully avoiding the spikes at the bottom. From this point until I open the treasure chest, I won't be attacked by monsters. It's time for a short break. I lie down on the floor and close my eyes. It feels like I've closed my eyelids for the first time in a while. Perhaps it's not so bad to stay in this space for a while. As I contemplate this, I unknowingly fall asleep. I wake up. I wonder how long I was asleep. There's no way to know the time, so I have no clue. I realize my stomach is growling. Right, since entering the dungeon, I haven't eaten a meal or even had a sip of water. If I continue to stay in this space, I'll eventually die of hunger. Well, I've resolved to escape the dungeon for the sake of revenge, so I have no intention of making that choice. The break is over. Let's move forward. Please select 1 skill you wish to acquire from the following options. S rank. Item box, Enhanced Healing, Enhanced Magic Recovery, Shortened Incantation, Acceleration, Stealth. A rank. Healing Magic, Barrier Magic, Fire Magic, Water Magic, Wind Magic, Earth Magic, Alchemy, Summoning Magic, Enhanced Memory. B rank. Swordsmanship, Archery, Axe Techniques, Spear Techniques, Shield Techniques, Physical Techniques, Stat Disguise. C rank. Physical Enhancement, Presence Detection, Magic Generation, Fire Resistance, Water Resistance, Wind Resistance, Earth Resistance, Poison Resistance, Paralysis Resistance, Curse Resistance. D rank. Appraisal, Provocation, Strength Enhancement, Endurance Enhancement, Agility Enhancement, Stamina Enhancement, Vision Enhancement, Hearing Enhancement. I open the treasure chest once again and access the skill selection screen. Which skill should I choose? Stealth is not viable. Even with stealth, the armored bear bugbears will find me in this enclosed space. Besides, I have to defeat the armored bear bugbears to exit this room, so a non-combat skill like stealth is out of the question. Alright, this one. The skill I selected is Acceleration. Grow WWWWL. The next moment, 10 armored great bear bugbears appear in the room. Whether this choice will be for good or bad, it's time to start the battle. Chapter 7. Conclusion reached on the 300th time. Grr. A nearby armored bear bugbear roars and approaches. Acceleration. I say this and activate the skill I just obtained. Instantly, it feels as though time has slowed down. The movements of the armored bear bugbears appear in slow motion. Thump. The armored bear bugbear's fist comes down from above. I successfully avoid it. Previously, I couldn't even follow the armored bear bugbear's movements with my eyes, but with this skill, I can certainly evade their attacks. From there, I continue to evade the relentless attacks of the 10 armored bear bugbears. By dancing like a butterfly, I manage to dodge every attack. Well, even if I can keep evading, it's probably pointless. I explore the room thoroughly, moving in all directions, but there is no exit in sight. This room is entirely sealed off. To exit this room, I likely need to defeat all the armored bear bugbears. If that's the case, just evading won't do any good. It's time for a counterattack. Growl. I sidestep to avoid the armored bear bugbear's attack, then deliver a punch to its face. The punch connects well, causing the armored bear bugbear to stagger back for a moment. Crunch, an unpleasant sound is heard. Ah, it seems that the bone in my right arm, which I used to punch, has been broken. It appears I couldn't withstand the impact from the punch delivered by the acceleration. And there's another significant weakness. The moment I attack, I leave a significant opening for myself. The armored bear bugbears would certainly not miss the chance to exploit it. Ah, another armored bear bugbear, different from the one I punched, strikes me from the side. I let out a groan as I crash violently into the wall. I have died. Damn it, I muttered in frustration as I was once again brought back to life by the time rewind. I had made it quite far, but dying meant starting all over again. Nevertheless, a glimmer of hope was in sight. The fact that I could use acceleration to avoid the armored bear bugbear's attacks was a significant discovery. While I was concerned about my offensive capabilities, being able to evade attacks provided numerous opportunities for counterattacks. Alright, my course of action was clear. I would choose acceleration and try to escape from that room. Well, before that, I needed to make it to the room with the treasure chest. Gah, I was killed again by the first armored bear bugbear that appeared. On approximately the 225th attempt, I finally made it back to this place. Once again, I had reached the room with the treasure chest. Getting to this room was quite a challenge. I must have died at least 5 times before reaching this room again. Well, I wasn't keeping an exact count of the times I died, so there might be some variation. Now, let's go with acceleration. Without hesitation, I selected acceleration from the list of skills that appeared when I opened the treasure chest. Gah! The armored bear bugbears that appeared let out a roar. Now, the battle begins. I can't believe this. Why won't it work? I shouted in frustration. Around the 300th attempt. Out of those, I had chosen acceleration 16 times. During my 16th attempt, while surrounded by the armored bear bugbears, I couldn't help but scream. In the beginning, I was optimistic that if I chose acceleration, I'd eventually be able to escape from this room. However, with each attempt, I became increasingly convinced that it might be impossible. I can't breathe. Unconsciously, I was taking shallow breaths through my shoulders. The drawback of acceleration was that it consumed my stamina at an alarming rate. I could only use it for about 3 minutes. Within those 3 minutes, I had to defeat all 10 armored bear bugbears. However, I couldn't defeat even a single one. There were several issues at play. First, despite being able to move quickly with acceleration, it didn't increase my attack power. I had hoped that even with my low base attack power, I could deal decent damage when combined with speed, but every attack I landed resulted in my arm breaking. This made it impossible for me to attack repeatedly. The next strategy I considered was to aim for their weaknesses. Thanks to acceleration, not only could I move quickly, but my thought processes and visual perception were also accelerated. This allowed me to target specific areas accurately. For instance, I could attack their eyes. When I hit their eyes, the armored bear bugbears would scream and writhe in pain. However, it was only a temporary setback. They weren't permanently blinded, and despite the pain, they would recover and come after me again. I also tried getting behind them and strangling their necks. Even if I successfully strangled them, it was futile because other armored bear bugbears would kill me while I was preoccupied with that. Despite all my attempts, it seemed there was no other way, but I struggled to find an alternative. I tried again and again. Looking back now, I think I was simply afraid of admitting my reality. I didn't want to accept that, even with the highest ranked S-rank skill, I was making no progress. I clung to the hope that there had to be a way out, so I kept choosing acceleration. Chapter 8 Skills to choose next. Damn. I realized I couldn't defeat the armored bear bugbear with acceleration, so I became desperate. At first, I was excited about the incredible effect of acceleration. However, when I realized that choosing acceleration was in vain, I couldn't help but feel overwhelmed by emotion. Nevertheless, I couldn't stop my progress. After all, the moment I died, time would rewind to just before the initial encounter with the armored bear bugbear. Although it was shocking, if I did nothing, I would die again. I should be aware of this, but I just can't seem to flip the switch. I hate them. So I decided to remember. About Namia. Darga, who killed Namia. And the villagers who framed me for a false crime. I hate. Hatred is my greatest driving force. Without this hatred, my spirit would have broken a long time ago. I will definitely escape from this dungeon and take my revenge with my own hands. With renewed determination, I began to walk again. Approximately the 305th attempt. Once again, I had reached the room with the treasure chest. Please select 1 skill you wish to acquire from the following skills. S rank. Inventory enhanced healing enhanced magic recovery shortened incantations acceleration stealth. A rank. Healing magic barrier magic fire magic water magic wind magic earth magic alchemy summoning magic enhanced memory. B rank. Swordsmanship archery axe proficiency spear proficiency shield proficiency physical mastery status disguise. C rank. Enhanced physical abilities sensory detection magic generation fire resistance water resistance wind resistance earth resistance poison resistance paralysis resistance curse resistance. D rank. Appraisal provocation strength enhancement endurance enhancement agility enhancement stamina enhancement visual enhancement auditory enhancement. Now, with acceleration and stealth out of the picture, what skill should I choose next? The only seemingly useful skill from the S rank is enhanced healing. It's probably a skill that allows for quick recovery from injuries, but given that I often die with a single blow, enhanced healing doesn't seem to make much sense either. With that in mind, I guess I'll have to look among the lower ranks. First, among the A-rank skills, they are all related to magic. The skill associated with magic generation, requires having magic stored in the body to be of any use, so it's automatically excluded. The only one in A rank that isn't related to magic is enhanced memory, but I can't even begin to fathom how such that skill would be useful. Given these considerations, the next step would be to choose a skill from the B rank, but those skills also seem to assume the possession of weapons. For example, a skill like swordsmanship wouldn't be effective unless I had a sword in my hand. As a result, for someone like me without any weapons, these skills would be of no use. However, within the B rank, there is one skill that assumes you don't have a weapon. Well, if we're going by the logical choice, it's this one. That skill is physical mastery. Chapter 9 Obtained Physical Mastery. You have acquired the skill Physical Mastery. The moment I chose Physical Mastery, a message appeared. To make sure I really obtained it, I opened the status screen just in case. Kiska. Skill 1, Save and Reset. Skill 2, Physical Mastery Level 1. Skill 3, None. Skill 4, None. Skill 5, None. Yes, it's displayed correctly. I should check the skill description just in case. Skill, Physical Mastery Level 1. When not wielding a weapon or when wielding a short-reach weapon, the effect is activated. Acquire the talent for physical mastery. Enhancement of some physical abilities. Yes, the effect is just as I imagined. It's good that it enhances physical abilities. With this, my attack power should be boosted. I heard the roar of the armored bear bugbear. In that case, let's begin. As a result, I died within the first 3 seconds. Darn it. I, who had returned from death, spat out the words. Well, I knew it. Dodging the armored bear bugbear's attacks is tough. Even with the level 1 physical mastery skill, it was the same story. Thanks to physical mastery, I had become somewhat faster and more powerful, but in front of an A-rank monster, it was like trying to put out a fire with a squirt gun. I guess I have to keep trying. I knew from the start that succeeding on the first attempt was impossible. By challenging it repeatedly, understanding the opponent's movements, and searching for the optimal strategy, I should eventually see a glimmer of hope. All right. With determination in my voice, I prepared myself. First, I had to dodge the initial attack from the armored bear bugbear. Around the 315th attempt. It was the 5th time I had chosen physical mastery to face 10 armored bear bugbears. This is impossible, I muttered to myself. Perhaps from having fought so many times, I had started to read the attack patterns of the armored bear bugbears to some extent. Especially in the first 15 seconds, I could confidently say that I could dodge any attack. Moreover, there were several opportunities to strike back. Die. So, I delivered a full power punch. A resounding thud echoed. Compared to the time when I had chosen acceleration, I could feel that my attack power had increased. However, the armored bear bugbear stood there with an indifferent expression. Gah. And then, it swung its arm at me. I was dead. Alright, let's go with a different skill. I had the experience of obsessing too much with acceleration in the previous attempt, resulting in unnecessary deaths. Although I had only fought 5 times with physical mastery, I decided to choose a different skill. As a matter of instinct, I believed that mastering physical mastery further would make me more formidable, but I wanted to try another skill. If it didn't show any promise, I could always return to physical mastery. But first, it's your turn. I focused my attention on the initial armored bear bugbear. Perhaps from seeing this armored bear bugbear so many times, I strangely felt a sense of familiarity. First, I had to get away from this one. Now, having arrived, what should I choose next? Please select 1 skill you wish to acquire from the following skills. S rank. Inventory. Enhanced healing, enhanced magic recovery, shortened incantations, acceleration, stealth. A rank. Healing, magic barrier, magic fire, magic water, magic wind, magic earth, magic alchemy, summoning magic, enhanced memory. B rank. Swordsmanship, archery, axe proficiency, spear proficiency, shield proficiency, physical mastery, status, disguise. C rank. Enhanced physical abilities: sensory detection, magic generation, fire resistance, water resistance, wind resistance, earth resistance, poison resistance, paralysis resistance, curse resistance. D rank. Appraisal: provocation, strength enhancement, endurance enhancement, agility enhancement, stamina enhancement, visual enhancement, auditory enhancement. Well, if things go as expected, I should go with enhanced physical abilities in C rank. So I decided to choose it. Additionally, I decided to browse the skill description. Skill: enhanced physical abilities level 1. Enhances overall physical abilities. The text was as expected. Physical mastery also had an effect of enhancing physical abilities, but I didn't know the specific differences. Looking around, I was already surrounded by the armored bear bugbears. For now, I should try to do whatever I can. Then, I might figure out if this enhanced physical abilities skill is effective or not. With that determination, 5 seconds later, I died due to a violent attack. Chapter 10 Verification. Around the 340th attempt, I chose enhanced physical abilities in front of the treasure chest. Gruer. The armored bear bugbears always let out their battle cry as they appeared. Maybe because I'd heard it so many times, it was ingrained in my mind. First, armored bear bugbear A and armored bear bugbear B charged at me from the left and right, flanking me. This attack was predictable every time. This was the best timing to crouch and dodge their attack. I continued rolling forward while kicking the ground at the same time. Thanks to the enhanced physical abilities skill, I could jump slightly higher than an average person. As a result, there was armored bear bugbear C right in front of me. I did a backflip over its head with my hands and followed through by landing with a powerful kick to armored bear bugbear D. Gah! Armored bear bugbear D, which I had kicked, let out a groan, but it didn't deal significant damage. I landed on the ground, spun my right leg around its axis while using my left leg, causing armored bear bugbear D to fall. I wanted to follow up on the fallen armored bear bugbear D, but armored bear bugbear C and armored bear bugbear E were attacking, so I slid low in the direction of armored bear bugbear E while running, allowing me to pass between the legs of armored bear bugbear E as it made a slight jump. All right, I survived for 20 seconds. I mentally cheered myself on. It must have been because I'd fought so many times. I could read the movements of the monsters to some extent, which allowed me to react accordingly. I was surrounded by armored bear bugbear A, armored bear bugbear B, and armored bear bugbear F, all of whom were attacking me. In response, I kicked the ground and jumped. All right, the timing was perfect. I landed on the outstretched arm of armored bear bugbear B. Continuing from there, I put strength into my fist and slammed it into armored bear bugbear B's face. Thud, the impact ran through. I had definitely delivered a heavy blow. The moment I landed, armored bear bugbear F grabbed my body. Then, it threw me against the wall. Crack, the sound of my skull breaking could be heard. I was already lifeless. I've learned something after a few battles. It's about the difference between physical mastery and enhanced physical abilities. First, here's an explanation of physical mastery that went something like this. Skill: physical mastery level 1. When not wielding a weapon or when using a short-reach weapon, the effect is activated. You gain the talent for physical mastery. Partially enhances physical abilities. Next, let's list the explanation for enhanced physical abilities. Skill: enhanced physical abilities level 1. Enhances overall physical abilities. Both descriptions mention enhancing physical abilities, but when placed side by side, you can see a subtle difference. The difference lies in the fact that the description for physical mastery mentions enhancing a part of physical abilities, while there's no such wording in the case of enhanced physical abilities. So, in enhanced physical abilities, you can enhance physical abilities evenly, whereas in physical mastery, only a part of physical abilities is enhanced. Now, what specifically gets enhanced with physical mastery becomes a matter of curiosity after several battles. However, it's become clear to some extent. With enhanced physical abilities, strength, endurance, agility, and stamina are enhanced, while with physical mastery, only strength and agility are enhanced. In other words, physical mastery does not enhance endurance and stamina. Thanks to that, when I chose enhanced physical abilities and went into battle, I noticed a difference. During physical mastery, my consciousness immediately blacked out when attacked, but with enhanced physical abilities, my consciousness often lasted for a few seconds, even when attacked. Well, it didn't change the fact that I could still be killed with a single blow. Now, what should I prioritize to defeat the 10 armored bear bugbears? First, I don't need endurance. Even if my endurance increases a bit, I'll still likely die from a single blow. As for stamina and agility, that's a dilemma. With more stamina, I can prolong my fighting time. Being a weak attacker, I need to prepare for a drawn-out battle. Agility can also help increase my chances of dodging attacks, so having it won't hurt. But it's quite clear that what I need most right now is strength. When I chose acceleration and went into battle, my weakest point became evident: my low attack power. No matter how much I attack, if my base attack power is low, I can't defeat the armored bear bugbears. So, when I thought about it, which of physical mastery and enhanced physical abilities increases strength more? It's clear that I should choose the one that enhances strength the most. However, after battling a few times, it seemed like there wasn't a significant difference in terms of strength between these two. Therefore, it seems like there won't be a big difference no matter which one I choose. And, after this analysis, I realize there's another choice for me. Maybe strength enhancement is a good option too. In front of the treasure chest, I muttered while looking at the skill list. Strength enhancement is rank D. Honestly, I hadn't paid much attention to it due to its D rank. However, if this skill offers a significantly greater enhancement to strength compared to physical mastery or enhanced physical abilities, it might be worth a try. So, for that reason, I decided to choose strength enhancement.